Hey, honey.
Yes.
So today we're launching a new trip. So we're pretty excited. Our Grizzinator Academy shooting school.
Good.
So I have some questions for you because I know I'm going to get tons of feedback and questions about what is Grizzinator Academy.
Okay.
So can you tell me what Grizzinator Academy is?
It's a cruise.
It's a cruise.
It's a cruise. It's a wildlife cruise, and it's a shooting school. So it's a yacht-based, top-of-the-line shooting school.
That sounds way different than any other shooting school I've ever heard of.
Yeah, the rest of them aren't any good. It's not just the accommodations either, or the wildlife cruise part of it. There's other reasons why there's problems.
Well, who would this shooting school be good for?
I hope that husbands and wives and fathers and sons and things like that come.
And fathers and daughters.
And daughters, yeah. Mothers and daughters. Because they'll get more out of the shooting part than they will anywhere else. And they'll get to see coastal Alaska on an intimate level.
That seems like beyond any experience that I've ever heard of.
Yeah. It's going to be the best. It will be the best shooting school.
So what are people going to learn what can they expect to learn while they're at our shooting school?
They'll learn how to work their rifles. They'll learn how to, they'll become much more proficient hunters and marksmen by far. And that's easy. I'm not teaching them math or doing anything complicated. It's going to be super easy. And by the time they're done, they'll be able to put rounds on targets easily in normal field conditions past 1,000 yards.
Past 1,000 yards?
Yeah.
So you think that you can take anyone?
I know I can. Anyone that actually knows which end of the gun the bullet comes out of, if you have that level of expertise, if you can sight your own rifle in, you can hit it at 1,000.
Or follow directions.
Or follow directions. You can hit it 1,000 yards. We're going to shoot a lot farther than that. I'm just saying that's going to be easy.
So you're going to turn where anyone of any age that comes and really wants to learn how to be a better marksman, a better hunter.
Well, we're going to go over the fundamentals because a lot of people don't have really good fundamentals, but we're also going to teach them what it takes to compensate for not having perfect fundamentals, because when you're in the field actually hunting, and you don't know where your position's going to be or where your target is precisely when you get ready to go, fundamentals kind of take a back seat. So we're going to figure out how to not be super high tech on the fundamentals.
Hold on. Go away.
It's your dog.
So I had to take a moment to stop the dog from eating a box. So
a fox? Oh, a box. Okay.
That's our new puppy.
I thought the dog had increased his value considerably.
I don't know about that, but I'm sorry. The fundamentals.
Yeah. So fundamentals are important, but you're not going to have any in the real world when it comes time to shoot. You're going to have the bare minimal, but we're going to teach you how to compensate for funny positions and not the ideal setup, and what it takes to hit far. And there's ways to make this a lot easier than it would seem.
So is this school only for the person that wants to learn how to shoot far?
No, it's for anyone that just wants to become more acquainted with their rifle and the ballistics of it, and that wants to have a nice Alaska trip.
So really tell me about that, like while we're on to that. What kind of accommodations can they expect? Like, is this only a shooting school?
It's exactly how our hunting trips are. So they're going to stay on the yacht. They're going to have showers, normal flush toilets, television,
washer and dryer,
heat, however hot you want it. That's how hot it is. It's all thermostat controlled. Home cooked meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And
they don't have to cook.
No,
our crew,
no.
our team,
They
the
don't cook,
Grizzinator
and there's
team.
no extraneous expenses. This is all inclusive. So a lot of the other shooting schools, they'll have to, supply their own food or even their own room and board sometimes, and it's,
And the St. Marina is beautiful.
gorgeous yacht. Yeah, it was built as a live aboard yacht when it was made, and it's been completely redone. And it is deluxe accommodations for remote Alaska.
And you can't get any better than Prince William Sound.
No, it's the best place in the world. Absolutely. The most scenic and wildlife abundant. And this is the coolest place in the world.
So what kind of wildlife
All
is
of it.
there around?
Everything. We're going to see tons of bears, some deer, and then the whales, of course, orcas and humpback whales.
What about some goats?
We'll definitely see goats.
And glacier?
And we might even see a sea otter or 10,000 because, Prince William Sound is infested with sea otters.
There are definitely sea otters to be found.
And the eagles and the porpoises and the salmon should be running by then. You might see some salmon in some streams. It's give or take.
It's
possibly.
just beautiful.
Yeah.
So, you're my husband, but I feel like that I've kind of been around the block in this whole industry of, I've learned a lot of stuff over the years. I've had to watch a lot of other people on different YouTube channels, and I'm pretty knowledgeable for a woman.
Well, you have to watch all that stuff on YouTube because I have the remote.
I know.
Most of the time.
I know way too much about ammunition, guns, and lathes and CNC machines, but you are a wealth of knowledge when it comes to, number one, you are the best guide in Alaska, hands down. I don't say that just because you're my husband. You know what you're doing. You lead our team in a phenomenal way. And I dare say that you've killed more wildlife in Alaska, bears put together, than anyone, and been a part of that. So I know that you have the experience of being in the field. That so many of these people that are teaching these shooting schools, they may figure out how to work a gun.
They don't know. They don't know what it takes to actually kill animals at long range. They may have limited experience where it's a half a dozen or less that they've actually shot, and some of it may have turned out well, and some of it may have not. I've had, we've had a lot of clients that have come from shooting schools, and they kind of understand the adjusting of the scope for your trajectory in a really limited way when they're done, but they don't understand what sort of bullets to shoot, how a gun should be. They literally don't know how a gun.
They don't know how to apply what they've learned.
Yeah, so they don't teach them. They don't teach them anything about the proper setup, and they don't teach them. It's not that they don't teach them anything. They don't teach them anywhere near enough, and they don't. Most of the people that teach those schools don't have a really firm understanding of what works to hunt with at long range, because I see the bullets and ammunition that the hunters bring that they have taken to the long range shooting school, and it's without fail completely wrong. And I would think that if their instructors had good knowledge of hunting at long range, they would recommend or insist upon something different than what they're using. So that's one of the things we're going to cover immediately right off the bat. When we're working on the fundamentals, we're going to go over the rifles, the ammunition, and things like that. And we'll actually cover that before they arrive. So they'll have a good idea about what to bring.
All right. So we do have a couple of different package options that we're going to do. So package one is just going to be the flat out base fee for the trip. Mm-hmm. So if they want to bring their own gun, they can do that, right? Mm-hmm. So with that package,
there's not a super great, they'll get a ton out of the class, but they will certainly be lagging performance wise to maybe some of the other people that are participating. If they bring an off the rack, even if it's a custom made, a typical hunting rifle, they're going to be a little behind the curve, but that's something we can overcome. I know how to make those perform well beyond normal. And, I'll recommend some sorts of ammunition that they can bring too.
And then for those that really want to up their game, we have a couple of different package options that we're going to have where they can have actual custom rifles made and ready for them to be able to get whenever they arrive.
Yeah, and they're both built on my primary use philosophy of guns. So they're going to be designed to shoot easily. That's the key thing. It can't be hard to shoot the thing. And that's the main problem with most people's hunting rifles. They're just hard to shoot. And without a lot of experience, most of the people don't know that their gun's hard to shoot. And they think that they just can't do it. When in reality, 90% of success at shooting further is in the gun. And honestly,
a lot of them are not machined to be.
Well, they're not. They're completely set up wrong. They're set up exactly how a rifle was set up in 1918. It may have a composite stock and a composite barrel and stainless steel action, but essentially the ergonomics and everything are exactly the same as they were 100 years ago. And that's just not conducive to success at longer range. It can be done, but that's when fundamentals really come into play. When you've got what I consider to be like an inferior sort of setup. But we're going to have superior setups, I think. I know we are. We do.
Well, I know the kind of work that you put out on all the guns that you've made. They're perfect.
They're perfect. They have to be. They have
to be, or we don't let them leave the shop.
I won't. If something is not perfect, it gets redone.
Right.
Absolutely.
So is there anything else that you can think of that maybe I didn't hit on that?
No, I want to change the paradigm from that's not for me because you think that it's beyond your pay grade or it's too difficult or just too complicated. I want to help people understand that it's really not. It's actually pretty darn easy. And there's a lot of ways to make it easier than it would seem at first glance, or easier than what you've learned in other places.
And I know that you're super just very easygoing, very personal with the whole teaching. You definitely,
I don't have rules. There's not rules. We're not going to be.
Well, you're very easy with your teaching too. You don't get flustered at people. You're used to dealing with our kids. We've got a lot of kids, so you know how to work from like anybody you can take. And the amount of clients that we've had over the years, you just know how to work with people, and you know that each person is also different.
Well, this isn't the first time I've done this. I do this with every hunter. Actually, the problem is I only have an hour or so to go through what it takes to make this work. And that's enough time to get the job done if I'm right there with them when the shot opportunity comes. We can be totally successful. But I want people to be able to take that understanding home and to make it easy for them for the rest of their lives.
Well, I even know with my personal experience of whenever I shot out to 1,000 yards for the very first time. I mean, it's like literally you set me down on a rock like we would normally do any shot. And I had been I grew up hunting. So I had it in my mind of like every shot's got to be within that 100 to 200 yard range. And pushing out to 1,000 yards, I thought was insane. I thought it was super difficult. And all you did was tell me how to calculate everything. You showed me everything. You told me how to put it into the turrets and told me to go for it. And it was so easy. Like it.
And we called our shots within 6 inches. You know, I could before you shot, I could say, well, this one's going to be
for the different bullets and stuff because we were shooting different setups.
Yeah, and the wind and everything. I could say this one's going to be 3 inches high and 4 inches to the right.
Yeah,
and that's where it would hit.
It was amazing to me.
So it's not that difficult. A lot of it's the setup, not just the gun, but how the gun is attached to the ground and attached to the shooter. That's the key to a lot of it. And then, of course, the ammunition.
And having great equipment.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't take a gun that just will not shoot. And
well, yeah,
you can make it better, but
you can't turn a
precision.
You can't turn a paper plate rifle into a bottle cap rifle. That's never going to happen. you can take a rifle that's kind of difficult to shoot, but that is inherently accurate. You can take that rifle and make it easier to shoot. But if you really want the real deal, you have to have the mindset at the get-go, when the gun is put together, the intended purpose of the rifle. And if you do that, it gets a lot easier, a lot faster. That's why people, when they shoot a rifle that I have, they're amazed. They'll shoot farther than they've ever shot in their life and hit consecutively, shot after shot, at different ranges, way out far, 800 to 1,500 yards they'll hit with their aiming at. And it kind of amazes them, that I'll go, oh, you smoked it. And they'll be, really? Right. I did? So, yeah, I really want people to go away with an understanding of how it works, and to not be flustered and to find it difficult and think that their aptitude is not up to it, because I can promise you almost everyone's capable of doing this.
So you've heard it from the man himself, and we're super excited about this. We know that it's going to be a game changer for clients that really want to know, and I would say just expand their knowledge and their confidence. Like, this is going to be an absolute confidence booster and game changer for so many hunters, for so many shooters.
And they don't have to even bring their own rifles or ammunition if they don't want to. We've got a couple packages that are both absolute precision. One is a little more customized than the other, but they're both super phenomenal shooters. And if they want to opt for that option, then they'll know that when they arrive, their gun is completely ready to rock for the circumstances. But if they choose not to do that, then we'll just go through their rifle.
We'll get them set up.
We'll get them set up, yeah.
So we always take care of any of our clients and expect all of our...
They're going to love it. It's my favorite part of hunting. I mean, I love outsmarting animals, especially big brown bears. They're the smartest animal in the world. And I love all of that. But what really holds my interest is the tools we use and what makes them more effective.
And the place that it's going to all take place in.
Yeah, that's a foregone conclusion. Prince William Sound is the most scenic, beautiful, wildlife abundant place in the world.
So, well, there you go. If you are interested in booking this shooting school trip with us, give us a call.